Hello, everybody. How are you? Great to be here as always. Today is April 11th and it is a Friday. Wherever you are, hope you're having a great Friday. Here in the UK, it's a beautiful sunny day. We've got 19 degrees today. It really is very, very lovely indeed. Uh, let's bring you up to date then. Recap of yesterday's webinar with our CEO, Ash Mufareh. Quite a long one, 4 hours. And as always, I like to quickly talk about how he looked and the way he was. It was quite obvious, wasn't it, that this has been a long time coming for him to be able to divulge the information that he gave us. He was looking almost quite relieved at times that he has managed to tell us the things that he wanted to a certain extent, but it was also quite obvious that there is still a lot ongoing. And one of the biggest references that I took from this was that things are ongoing, things are still happening, but we are moving forward. And he said on several occasions, didn't he, that him being here yesterday wasn't a mistake. It's done by design. And this is really where I feel that this is the start of us moving forward. Colonel Daniel Lee, thank you so much for your super sticker, my friend. That's very, very kind of you. As always, guys, this recap is going off what our CEO had said yesterday. There is a from it. And I sincerely hope that I've kept to the right path as much as possible. That's for sure. He really was adamant that you listen to what he has to say. And as always, I'll say exactly the same. This is just my recap. I have put up, or it's coming up now, the version of Ash only, and it's with Hindi subtitles as well. So please take the time to listen to him again. The more times that you listen to our CEO, the more times you will understand things a little bit more. So let's get started then with our webinar from the 10th of April, yesterday, with our CEO, Ash Mufareh. He started off by saying that change was necessary and also required. We are globally connected community, and I don't take that lightly. It means a lot to me, he said, and it keeps me going and motivated in the right direction. I believe I was born to make a positive impact on humanity. I really do believe that those words are the essence of what drives him forward. Not only does he want to be remembered for the right things, but I also believe that he has got uh, a lot of things that help him move forward. And one of those is he doesn't want to let us guys down. Most of what he does is because he feels responsible for us. He wants to be able to make a difference, not only for humanity, but also for us guys that have been on the journey for a long time. So saying those words to me really did point towards him saying and acknowledging our resolve and us being here as a community behind him for what he is trying to do. He then highlighted what the topics he was going to go over during the webinar yesterday. And those were updates to the SEC case, the locations across the globe and what has happened to them. Affiliate commissions also he was going to talk about the company status and moving forward, and the webinar schedule as well. Obviously, as time moved on, some of those sort of moved into each other, but that was the topics he was going to cover. He also talked about he did say that it was a choice, and if you wanted to be here but you felt obliged to be here, then you really are doing it for the wrong reasons. He also said that he's never got it right all the time. Mistakes have been made. things have been learnt from those mistakes, and he hasn't got things right the first time, the second time, or even the third time around. But what he was referencing Thomas Edison and other great leaders who have tried many, many times and failed. But the main thing is that they persevered until they got it right. And I firmly believe that the On Passive journey has been a little bit like that. Many things have been tried, many things have failed, but nobody has ever given up. And this is the core part of what he's trying to get over. That message that he is trying to go with is that we might not get it right every time, but we're not giving up. We have learnt from what had gone wrong, but we are then now moving forward to something that we believe is going to be. Apologies, by the way, for my internet. Actually, I tell you what I'll do. Let me just change very quickly to a different connector. Just to see if that happens. Whilst we're talking about this briefly, let me tell you that tomorrow, Friday, I will be doing a Q&A session on Saturday. So if you have got any questions, by the way, guys, and we will talk about those tomorrow. You can bring them to the table. We can expand things a little bit more. So anyway, he went on to say the good thing is good things take time. It doesn't happen necessarily overnight, but a lot of cost and a lot of sacrifice has been given to where we are today. He then started going on and talking about the SEC case. Now, it's widely known the SEC case is there, and it has been going on for an awful long time. And he actually mentioned that it goes all the way back to beginning of January 2019. So that's really is the start of On Passive. If you remember, it kind of got going in the June, July of 2018, and then it went all the way up to November, in fact, without a website and a name. And then obviously November forward, we started to get a bit of momentum, a bit of traction, and the SEC started noticing On Passive way back in the 1st of January 2019. He also said we have had an open door policy for the SEC, and this means that they are allowed to come in and all the information, whatever they've wanted, has been available to them throughout this period of time. And this really has helped the On Passive case. He said it caused a lot of complications, obviously, with so many things, KYC, other locations, etc. But the good news is it will soon all be behind us. He said we have an initial resolution for the case at the moment. This has obviously got to be agreed, and he will be able to bring more clarity for this case by June, he said. And by then, he said, we should be able to let you know exactly what is happening by the SEC case. But he's very optimistic that that will be that part done and dusted, and it should be all over. He said, but the one main thing is that On Passive will not be shut down. Regardless, he said, we are not shutting down. He then went on to talk about locations. And he said he talked about bad apples and about what had happened and about the different locations and how things had happened. Obviously, all of these things, which I'm just simulating right now, he went into depth about. But for the sake of this recap, to give you the headers of what has been going on, these you can obviously go back and listen to them in their fullest of what he said. He said some of these bad apples, they had a lot of influence on other people, some really nice and good people as well. And he said it got to a stage where everything was really intertwined, and he didn't know who to trust, who not to trust, who was influenced by these people, who wasn't influenced by these people. So the best thing to do was to shut the locations down. This all happened really from June, July of 2024 onwards. And as you well know, everything shut down from our end in the beginning of September of 24. But really, June, July was the time then things started to get very, very messy, and a line needed to be drawn in the sand. So the easiest solution was, let's shut things down. And he also said that from here on in, he said he has to come clean with us and let us know that there is no operations, there is no staff, there is nobody operating from the following locations, and that is the offices in Hyderabad. He talked about the journey of OnPassive in India, through Calcutta, through Bangalore, onto Hyderabad. And he never said at any point, by the way, that this will not happen again in the future. He did say that this is the stage that we're at now. Are we going to have premises back in India, back in Dubai, and all the rest of it? We will have to wait and see. But this was really an update to let us know exactly what's happening about the locations across the globe. And they are as follows. These premises had now no longer got any employees or anything to do with OnPassive. And that is in Hyderabad, Dubai, Singapore, Bangladesh, and of course, Egypt. The offices in Orlando, Florida, they are still open and still going ahead. And as far as we could glean from what he was saying as well, the premises in Burj Khalifa are still within his name as it stands at the moment. He also admitted his mistakes. He also admitted that a lot of things had gone wrong. He didn't make an apology of other people's mistakes. He made an apology for him not noticing what was going on. He put that down to being himself. Now, I think we will all agree that he is a very open, honest person, very, very generous. And this sometimes allows people to take advantage of people like himself. Now, should he change? He also said later on that change has been necessary, and he has implemented changes so that these mistakes aren't going to happen again. But certainly people took advantage of him. Certainly people took advantage of us. And this accumulated and into where we are today, or where we are last year. He said he admitted his mistakes due to time and speed. If you remember, speed was of the essence. He wanted to get things going and rolling as quickly as possible, and mistakes were made and things were missed because of his focus on moving forward. He always had an impression in his mind that if it's not just right at the moment, don't worry, we can double back around, sort that out once we do this and once we get going. That was always part of his sort of mindset, that we can fix that, we can sort that out at a later date. But a lot of things happened and a lot of things couldn't get sorted, and it all became very, very uneven, almost disheveled and all over the place, that the best solution was to close things and to shut it down. He said, unfortunately, those at the top were mostly bad apples, as he called them. We've probably got other much more fruitful names than a bad apple for the likes of these people, but they certainly did manipulate and take advantage of our CEO and also our good nature as well. He also talked about the journey and the expectations that he had done through India, from Calcutta, Bangalore onto Hyderabad. Very interesting, by the way, as well. And then, what did he say? In June, July, he took the decision to close things down. Okay. As he said, he wanted to stop the bleeding. It was hard to see who was genuine and who was clean, so we stopped it. And he said the outside standing payroll for the employees across the globe. That is at the moment in discussions, and it will be settled once an agreement has been made. So for anybody out there who maybe was thinking, what about these employees that owed money from the work that they have already done? This is being dealt with within the correct agencies, and a settlement is very close, he was saying. He said also the truth will always prevail. Doesn't matter where, when, and how, but the truth always will come out in the long run. I firmly believe that as well. I think if you are true of heart, if you are true of soul, then you will obviously prevail in the long run. It might take a while, but it always will come back round at some point. He then went on to a very important subject for many of us, and that was affiliate commissions. Now, we all look at our back offices, we all see our O-wallets and the funds that are there. Many of us have requested withdrawals, so we rightly want to know what is happening with that. And he actually talked at length about the process of how things happened and through the payment processes and how these bad apples were involved in that process. Obviously, the SEC was part of how things went south to a certain extent, but more importantly, he talked about a lot of other things as well. He said the lack of cooperation from certain individuals to help get us paid was the straw that finally broke the camel's back. He obviously had inklings that things weren't going correctly as he wanted to. He said the wrong moves from the financial department caused even more problems with the payment processes. And we got flagged as a company that wasn't ethical. And obviously, those funds were frozen. He actually said the word the funds were seized, but frozen is what has happened to them. Now, this isn't a bad thing, by the way, guys. It means that they are still there. They haven't been taken by anybody else. So that it really is a question of process to prove that those funds are legitimate. And those are the funds that are owed to us, the commissions, and to other things as well. He said 2 merchants totaling $52 million of funds are on hold at this time. This was enough money to pay the payroll in all locations across the globe, plus around about 30 million, which was going towards affiliate commissions. He has one of the top lawyers companies in the United States who are part and parcel of the SEC case, but also part and parcel of dealing with these funds in Dubai. And he is very confident that in time, they will be able to get those funds back. And obviously, those who are due their commissions will be paid when that money comes back into the company. He also said that during this process, it's not going to stop us moving forward. Okay, so in one hand, we're not going to get our funds tomorrow, but the funds haven't gone. They will be coming back in and we will be receiving them. And it's not going to stop us moving forward to whatever the next part of On Passive is going to be. He also said that these people are not going to get away with it. If they thought that Ash was a pushover, was easy, that he wouldn't pursue it, we wouldn't pursue it, then they are very mistaken. He said they have literally stolen our money, and we are not going to accept that. This is why we are where we are, and we are determined to prove our own morality and ethics and integrity that we are right to receive that money. Make no mistake, it will be recovered, and we have governments involved, and the SEC will aid us to get our money back. That's how confident he is. This is why I think that this melting pot we're in at the moment with the SEC case with having the open door policy that he has had all along. There is a resolution there. It's almost of an agreement between two parties that they can't go any further with the case. So let's agree where we are and we will resolve it. Now then, can you guys help us for this next part of what is going on? And I think he has actually got a good relationship with them, and I firmly believe that this will add to a positive outcome for all of us as far as the commissions is concerned. It was music to my ears, in all honesty, to know that those funds for commissions haven't been stolen per se by somebody, that they are just in a holding area, that they are recoverable, and it really is just a question of the right process to recover them. And I'm sure that our CEO, along with his legal teams and others, governmental departments, etc., will come through, and in time that money will be returned to ourselves, and then that the payouts will be made in full for each and every one of us that is owed commission. So really, really good news as far as that is concerned. He then went on to, where is OnPassive today? You know, where are we within OnPassive? It was really interesting to hear him talk about OnPassive. You know, it's been his baby for a very long time, has it? You know, and you know, he's put his heart and soul into this company. He said the main thing is we are not shutting down. We're not going to close OnPassive. It's always going to be there. He said there is no quick fix to settle all of the things that I have talked about. It will take time, but we will get it all done. He said, as early as a couple of years ago, I had the feeling that what was happening was taking more time than I wanted for various reasons, coming up against brick walls, for the people who are developing things not coming back in a timely manner, them not working correctly, etc. All of these things were making him feel that we might not even get to where I want it to be. So what did he think? What was his thought process of how can I fix all this? He actually said, I'm going to have a plan B. And as early as 2 years ago, he started on a plan B to run alongside what was happening with OnPassive. Now, if you remember from a very, very long time ago, for those of us that have been involved with him through 2018, he's always had a big vision of what he wants to achieve. Even when OnPassive was going, and when we went through the stage of it being a very small marketing module to expanding, I really believe that wasn't the whole story of where and what he wanted to achieve. I firmly believe this plan B that he was running alongside OnPassive for the last 2 years is the final cut of what he wants to try and achieve. And he also said that having this plan B gave him the ability to change things, to change direction, even to upgrade what was already there, to make it a whole lot better, to make it even better than it was before. All of the problems made me believe you can get to work on something else, something better than what is happening right now. Things were getting very complicated. They were getting very mismatched, and almost it made him more determined to start something from afresh, with new direction, with new purpose, to run it alongside, that if we didn't get to where we were, then we would be able to move on to plan B. He said, my dream and desire overshadowed all of the problems that I was facing on a daily basis through internal, external, problems within my family that was caused by external influences, all sorts of things, actually made him focus more on the future, and it overshadowed all of these problems that he was having, because it gave him focus on what the bigger picture was and what he was trying to achieve. It helped him go forward. How many times have we talked about this amongst ourselves? How many times have we said the main important thing is to keep going forward? He even said, doesn't matter how many times you fail, as long as you are failing forward, you are in a momentum of going in that direction, never giving up. All of these terminologies all point to why the man is still here, why he still wants to have this vision, and why he still wants to achieve what he wants to do. He has a greater purpose. It was a challenge, he said, and I had to reinvent so many things as to not make the same mistakes as before, he said, especially within the managerial section. He even mentioned that he now has legal advisors who are there before anybody gets a contract. Things have to be signed, things have to be agreed prior to anybody taking a position moving forward in the new business. He's learnt by his mistakes. He's not going to allow that to happen ever again. This is great news, by the way. We had to do something greater, outdo ourselves from before, and we are not going to come back as the same. That's not the plan. The plan is to be bigger, to be better than we ever have been, to have something greater, something new that nobody has seen before. He went on as well to talk about the gossip, I suppose, of name changes and how OnPassive 2.0, etc. And he made reference to all of that as well, that the only thing that is going to be the same in the new business is his name and himself. Does this mean that OnPassive is not going to be there? No, far be it. OnPassive is still going to be there. But I firmly believe that the new business is going to be newer, fresher than what OnPassive was. New vibe, new things, in fact, new way forward, new way of doing things. This is the new OnPassive, whatever it's going to be. He referenced names that are all wrong, by the way, as well. What I can tell you is this, is that none of the speculation I have heard so far are not true. Names, direction, it's not what you think. I've turned out a lot better than what you have wanted. You will be shocked, he said, and we will talk about all of these things later on. He also said that we are going to be having more webinars. In fact, there's a Arabic webinar coming up very shortly, and as soon as maybe next Thursday, there is going to be another webinar. He is planning on hopefully having regular webinars, maybe once every 1 week or 2 weeks. Again, time will tell. One thing is we are going to be moving forward. So how are we going to do that? You giving me the trust and support, he said, guess what? I'm not going to let you down. The one thing that I will always do is do it or die, he said. You guys give me the reason to keep going because I don't want to let you down. He said, I will deliver. It's not about money for me. It never has been about the money. This is the last thing on my mind. I want to make a difference. I want to make a difference for you guys. I want to make a difference for humanity. And that is what I want to be remembered for. We plan on having regular webinars, he said, maybe this time next week. I told you about the Arabic webinar. He said, we are technically done with the founders positions as well and founders. What does this mean to us? It means that that period of OnPassive is pretty much over. But he also did say that he will talk to many of us about moving forward. he intends to bring value to those early bird positions, maybe bringing in grandfather rights or other perks that he can give to those early positions, obviously at no cost to anybody. And that was also a very important part of this whole webinar. Did he ask for any money for anyone? Did he say we've got to pay? Did he mention anything along those lines? No, he didn't. He said that we are bringing you up to date with where we are at the moment. He said the new phase will be different from on passive. The only thing he said that's the same is me and my name, and he said details of this will follow. There was obviously an awful lot more involved with what he was saying. He went into great depths and details about so many of the lead ups to what happened, to the inner workings. No names were mentioned, but certainly a lot of references to areas, etc., so that we all had a pretty good idea of what was going on. Again, you will have to listen to him so that you know those details yourselves. But it's very clear to me that we're in my opinion, a great place. He's not going anywhere. He's going to bring us something that we are going to be very proud of, that we can utilize probably even better than what we thought on passive was going to be. What timeline is that going to be? I don't know. But he did say that 2025 is going to be a great year. So read into that what you will. I personally believe that when there's certain problems with the SEC and other things are settled, and those guys are going to be within the next few weeks, at least we'll know the outcomes of those within the next few weeks. I firmly believe that once those are settled, then we will start the next part of this journey. Like I said when I was on there, for me, it's been a long journey with on passive, 6.5 years. But one thing that I've known all the way along is that this is the right company to be involved with. I know that my dedication, my trust in this man will be rewarded. And obviously, I certainly know that me staying the course of this company will stand me in good stead. That is all I want to know. That is enough for me. And hopefully you guys feel the same as well. I encourage you all to go back round to listen to him as many times as possible. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of our CEO over the next few ways as well. And I really do believe that for those that know him, trust him, believe him, then this is going to be a phenomenal year for all of us. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. See you all tomorrow for Q&A. Okay. If you've got any questions, you can send them to me at redredfern1@gmail.com, or you can put them in a WhatsApp, a messenger for me, and we will bring them up tomorrow as well. If not, you can use the chat area, and we will do it within that. That's it from me then. Speak to you all very, very soon. Bye for now.